What up, world? Welcome back. Episode 20 of our podcast. You heard what I said. I'm JP. I'm with my boys, as always, Dwight and Lateef. What up, my boys? What up?
What up?
Go on.
So, episode 20, man. We in the 20s now, man. We almost legal. We almost ready to start drinking.
Yeah, we can be on these streets. Yeah, we can't get in the club yet. But we can still be
Not
out
yet. We can't get. I mean, we can get in the club because outside is opened up again.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
Listen, before we get into our topics, huh?
Are y'all fully opened up out there, like 100%?
July 1st, New York.
Oh, I forgot when the date is, but
I think
you can start.
I think we have 75% now.
People out in the street without masks, easily. You know what I mean?
I'm not doing that yet. I'm not ready for that yet.
And I get that. But before we even start in the topics, I really think this summer people are gonna go overboard. Like, remember in our chat, remember you, Dwight, you sent the Lateef, the party in Malibu in that the deck,
the balcony that fell over.
Because there was 30 people out there.
Yeah,
that's overboard.
That's just stupid.
That's just stupid.
I'm not staying on the balcony. It's 30 of y'all out there.
I don't want to be out there. Yeah.
I've never been on a deck where it's 30 people. Ever.
That wasn't a deck. That was like an 8x10.
It was a deck, but also like it was an old deck, something that's been probably was buttressed by wood instead of steel. You know what I'm saying? It's getting crashed up with water all the time because that was right on the water. You know,
with rocks.
They might have hit a little bit of sand.
I just hope they're all right. I mean, it looked bad.
Somebody getting sued. That's all.
It's a lesson learned. Believe that.
Right, but that just goes to tell you that people are gonna go overboard this summer. Best believe it.
None of us in our lifetime have been through nothing like this before.
True.
So we don't know how to react on the during. Definitely don't know how to react on the come out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you free, you know what I'm saying? Whether you vaccinated or not, because let me tell you the funny shit. I got my first shot 2 weeks ago. Right? Literally 3 days later, I heard them say on the news, about a month, be herd immunity in LA. You know what I'm saying? You might not even need that shit. I was like, so I went and got the microchip for nothing?
Yo, I think that because I've already seen, like, me and my wife been invited to a bunch of stuff going on in the next month or so. Like, you know what I'm saying? That last year wasn't happening. So not that that's overboard, but I know we're going to hear some things, people going overboard too much just because they wasn't, like you said, we haven't been used to something like this in our lifetime. So
son, I can't even get a 7-day vacation. We going somewhere. I couldn't get 7 days because it's totally booked for the whole month.
That's crazy. See, that's what I'm talking about. People like, yo, are we open? Like, we out. Yeah. We out. Especially the people who's been vaccinated, they out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But even people who've been vaccinated, they're all on the other side of the spectrum. There are people who've been vaccinated be like, nah, I'm still gonna treat it like it's like we ain't open up like it's still last year. And I respect that too. Certain people are changed forever and they not.
I gotta be outside, man.
I get it.
I'm cool with the mask.
I'm cool with the mask.
Yeah, I'm cool with the mask too.
Yeah, I'll be outside.
I'm actually trying to find some fancy masks. Like, I'm cool with the mask.
I'm masked up to the end of 2021.
Easily.
You know? And I'm still gonna be outside, but
yeah,
I'm definitely be masked up. And people gonna say, well, why you got that? Don't matter. I can get in through this little corner. But I'm like, look, I feel you. It ain't you wearing it, so leave me the fuck alone.
Anyway, besides we open them back up. One thing that's just opened back up is J. Cole just released a new album, man. The off season, right? The off season.
Off season, yeah.
Let me tell you something, son. I've been listening to it since it dropped, man. It's one of my favorites since Forest Hill Drive, and I liked KOD and I liked Yours Truly. But this joint, like, he rapping, like
rapping,
and the beats are hard. Like, every beat is hard.
Yeah, I was shocked by that.
You was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think we had them type of beats on there.
Exactly. And I saw the track listing.
J. Cole usually has kind of hard beats, though. He's not really a dancey or like a clubby or
when he first came out, he had some of those club joints.
Yeah.
And he tried to get away from it.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite J. Cole J. Cole joints is a club joint. Can't Get Enough. Can't Get Enough.
Yeah.
Can't get it. That joint is crazy. So that's one. But this, like, it ain't. I mean, they ain't really no. Like, all them joints is really hard, man, to me. And like I appreciate a brother who you can tell he takes his time in between. He ain't about, because we don't hear nothing about him when he's not out.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? We don't hear no.
He's trying to play ball, man.
And that nigga, he playing ball where? In Africa? In Africa, right?
Rwanda, right?
He out here living his best life, for real.
He's out there playing the week his album dropped.
Yeah.
Like the day after, they had like highlights for him over the weekend, man.
Yo. And he said, like, I don't know if y'all watched the documentary I sent y'all, but he said, I think it was in that documentary, he said that Middle Child was supposed to be on this album, but he just wanted to release it. And when I think about it,
was supposed to be on the Fall Off, which is the album after this.
It was supposed to be on the Fall Off. But it fits with, like, if Middle Child was on this album, it would have fit perfectly. Because I feel like all the music sounds not the same, but it's like an ecosystem. Like, okay, all this stuff goes together. And he's like, and I saw the track listing and all the, like, Timbaland did a joint, a couple other big producers, Boy Wonder.
Tim did. I looked in the credits. I didn't see Tim's name.
I looked at the credits, but I didn't see who did what. He showed the producer, but I don't know who did what.
Yeah, I looked in the credits on Tidal. You know, you can see that.
Oh, you can see that? Okay, I need to see that. Because he did in the track list, and he named Timbaland, right? Like one of the producers, right?
I think so, yeah.
I thought I saw his name, so.
I didn't hear that record, but then it don't sound like that.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Like, Boy Wonder did that on 95 South joint.
Oh, the Cam joint.
Yeah.
First of all, the fact that he had Cam on the joint and it doesn't say it.
And the first voice you hear is Cam?
Cam?
Like, you don't normally hear Cam.
Let me ask y'all this. When you heard Cam, did you think he was going to have a verse?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not. I did not. I knew he wasn't going to have a verse.
Like, how you get Cam and don't get a verse?
I think because...
that was my question next.
No, my thing, it's just enough having him talk his shit. I just knew that because I've seen that done before.
They styles don't really mesh to me.
True. But that beat sounds like someone Cam would have rhymed on.
I was about to say that particular beat sounds like something he would have did. So he would have did dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what? It was enough to hear. Me personally, you know how I am when it comes to hip hop. Like the lyrics and lyricism is important to me. I don't really need to hear the club joint, all that, the radio joint. That don't matter. But he was able to make songs that you could play on the radio. You could play in the club. You could still play in your car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't have one bad thing to say about that album. That's
no.
I want to be a prisoner of the moment.
It has great replay value to me.
Yeah.
When I've played music, I haven't played anything else but his album since Friday. That's a true story.
Yeah.
And you know, I mentioned on the chat, but I mean, I've never ever quoted 21 Savage in my life.
People sleep 21, man.
Listen, and I never really slept them, but some rappers, even if they nice, I just don't pay attention to like that. You know what I mean?
We talked a while ago, and I was like, 21, he doesn't make a bad song. He sounds good on everything. I
mean, I like the joint that he had with Cole.
Yeah.
Before, like, that joint was fire too. And I was like,
yeah.
But the dude, he got off on this.
That's a clear thing. You know?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite joints on the album. That one. I like Close.
That's dope.
That was a dope like he really.
That's a cold record.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
And Let Go My Hand with Puff doing the prayer. Yo.
My favorite joint probably. Shit.
The 100 mil joint is tough too.
100 mil's tough.
Applying Pressure.
Oh, Applying Pressure. And the
Pride is the Devil with Lil Baby.
Pride is the Devil is crazy.
Yes,
what's that other joint?
Punching
the Clock. Punching the Clock.
Punching the Clock is dope.
Punching the Clock.
Took me a while to get into the Baby and Lil Baby.
Really? Oh, you mean just as an artist?
Yeah, as an artist.
Because Lil Baby on this record, he killed it. On J. Cole joint, he's killed it.
I think he got the best verse on that record. That's me though. It took me a minute to get into them, and I think, and this is me on my old man shit. Me hearing a nigga named the Baby or Lil Baby in 20 something wherever when they came out, is not gonna get me said, I don't have time to listen to that much new music.
No, yeah, I get you, because you're not the target audience, and I get that. I totally get that. We're not
Exactly.
that.
So I think Lil Baby, I think he was more recent than Da Baby. Da Baby, I think the song that I actually paid attention to listen to his lyrics was Suge.
Oh, huh. Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like, I didn't even know who it was. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was with it. I didn't even know who it was. I just happened to hear it, and so my son, I think, put me onto it. Case, you know, he's 9. Right?
Well,
so,
I mean,
so it had to be
right.
7. Had to be 7 when he heard it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one day I see him, and he in front of the TV, and I hear him playing Fortnite, and I'm like, so I go in there, I'm like, what is he? So I'm like, go to his headphones. He got the gamer headphones on. I go down. I'm like, you know what this is? He's like, yeah. He's like, you know his songs? He was like, yeah. Another time, his mom come drop him off. One song the baby had on the radio, he come jump out her truck. You know, my place good as hell. So it's funny seeing him do that. So I'm looking at her like, oh, you the one put him on. So she's like, no, right. He just hear it. His cousins and his uncle, they played around. So I was like, all right, let me start paying attention to. So I, went on Tidal and started listening to some joints. So I was like, oh, okay, he can rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was pleasantly surprised. I was like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Lil Baby. It wasn't until maybe a year ago where I actually started listening to some of his music, and I was like, oh, it's nice. I remember when I was talking about it on the thread, like, I wish I could have gotten him more. That's what streaming has helped me. If I'd had to buy these dudes,
streaming is great. Shit.
If I'd had to buy these dudes CDs, it'd have been a wrap.
To me, like with the Baby and Lil Baby, I mean, they're like, as I paid attention to them, I realized they're nice. I mean, they may not be as nice as some of my favorite MCs, but it's kind of like how I think about somebody like Mr. Cheeks. Mr. Cheeks is not a MC, I think, who's super nice, but he knows how to ride a track to make you enjoy the song.
Yeah.
And that's what I appreciate.
Yes.
I don't consider Cheeks as nice as Jadakiss at all.
And I don't try to compare them.
At all. But when I hear Cheeks song and the way he used to flow on the joints, it make you enjoy the song. That's a talent within itself if you're not lyrically gifted like other MCs. You know what I mean?
The Lost Boys was average rappers at best.
Oh,
of course. At best.
It's a little bit better than Group Home.
Yeah, but was okay. You go too far sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but when the Lost Boys was out, they was one of our favorite groups. We couldn't lie. When the Lost Boys joints came on,
they had them joints.
It was the songs they made.
That's what I'm saying.
They made good songs.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Killed that track.
Right.
They made good songs.
Right, because we know a bunch of MCs who are nice and don't make great songs. Those are two different talents.
Everything that Cheeks was on, he got busy on.
He didn't get busy. He made a good song.
Right. He made you enjoy it. He was never it was like,
never
oh, you heard that voice?
Cheeks.
Yeah, it's never
nothing. Let me rewind that.
You're thinking about two different definitions of get busy. I'm not saying he murdered that. No, I'm saying get busy is like Diamond D gets busy on tracks. To me, he knows how to rap. He the best rapping producer out. You know what I'm saying? Diamond D is let me take it back. Kanye is, but after Kanye, Diamond D was that dude. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Nobody said like he was a great rapper. Nobody said Biz was a great rapper. But they know how to entertain. They know how. Right,
that's what I'm saying. That's a different skill set.
Right,
that's a different skill set.
But I think I would put Cheeks in. He better than Biz, of course. But I would put them in that same kind of like they almost a throwback to the older first MCs, where it's not about me saying no witty shit. It's about me. Can I make you party right now? Mm-hmm. And Cheeks made excellent party records.
Yeah,
Biz made a classic song singing, and he couldn't carry a tune with a truck.
Yeah. There'll always be a place for MCs who are not that gifted but know how to make great songs to make you enjoy. Like
Future.
Yeah.
I don't know what Future is. I never thought he was a rapper.
Future's an entertainer. That's what he is. Future's an entertainer. Future's not the nicest. He makes good songs. Yeah, exactly. He's not the nicest MC. People quote Future because he be saying some funny, foul stuff, but he's not. When you add the list of rappers and say, "Yo, let me list the top 10 MCs out right now," you're not putting Future out there. If you say the top 10 rappers, then you definitely got to put Future up there. But MCs, and I think we all know the difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't put Future up there. There's a lot of people that don't see nowhere near the records of Future that's out right now that will watch him, like Corday and things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. Oh, yeah.
That's two totally different musics.
Right.
Like,
but Future created this lane that a lot of people follow. You know what I'm saying?
St. John is in that lane for me.
Right. But it's almost like
Future's lane?
Yeah. If you listen, like, you don't know
I
if he's
haven't really
rapping, he's singing.
Right. Yeah, I haven't listened.
I think St. John.
But that's like T-Pain though, right? That's like T-Pain. Oh no, T-Pain is more of a singer.
Never really
he's more of a singer. But the format
and T-Pain can sing for real.
Yeah. But you can equate that format to what Future does for niggas who can't sing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, all that to say, Cole can do both. He's an MC and he's a lyricist. Like, he can do both. Yeah. And he showed that on his album.
And he made good songs in this album too.
That's what I'm saying. Good songs. Because you can feel like the close song, like that was real personal. Because it sounded like he was choking up at the end, if you heard it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
album you can play. I mean, curse words notwithstanding, that's an album you could play anywhere.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree.
Album you can play. Yeah, you can play during a barbecue. You can play when you got a card party at the crib and it's in the background. You can play when you're driving. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a great record all around. And
which song on the album was it at the end when he was talking that shit? He was like, niggas think they could do it like you can't do it. You can do it, but you gotta
applying pressure.
Yo. He was talking that he said it specific. Like when he said it, I was like, I totally understand what he's saying.
Yes,
like,
of course.
Because there niggas clowning millionaires and shit like but you would give whatever to be in a position. You know, like that's so real.
Some people have. Some people have done the most heinous shit in the world to get to that point.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And continue to do it.
No, that's real shit. That's real shit. And speaking of Cole, you know, like
I hear Nicki album?
Yeah, it's a mix. It's like a re-release. Like 4 new songs on it.
She has some joints on there though.
3 of them is bangers.
No, I haven't heard it.
Of the new joints on there?
Yeah. The joint with all 3 of them is dope. That Fractions joint is dope. And the joint with G Herbo.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy.
Wait, G Herbo he's
the way that G Herbo that song.
Yeah.
Who is he? He's dating somebody, right? I thought I saw
he was dating Fast Butter.
That's what I thought.
I
saw a picture. Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
He floated on that shit.
Yeah. I mean, and speaking of Cole, like we were saying, you know, I'm dropping and this nigga's out playing basketball.
Playing ball.
Like I respect that.
But you know, I respect it.
Hey man, when you 100 mil,
it's still on the grind.
Yeah,
but that's
to his credit. I remember him posting videos of him shooting, and everybody was like, he's trying to try out for the NBA and shit like that. This was, 3-4 months ago.
How tall is Cole?
6'5".
6'4". Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about 6'5".
This tour, we stand next to a 6'4" rapper. That joint that was before the last album. Everyone Dies.
Yeah.
It was like a Lucy he threw out right before the album.
Oh, okay.
Man, I run that back like once a month, man.
Yeah, he's
let's give a shout out to the return of not the boom bap, but that hard beat.
Shit is hard.
Hard beats that aren't dated. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nobody crying for a premiere that's gonna do no shit. You know what I'm saying? The newer, producers gave us a hard beat album that's modern or relevant.
But you know why though? Cole is what, 35, 36? Like he's not these.
All the best rappers is in their mid-30s or later.
That's what I'm about to say. I don't think it's a return. Yeah. I think it's just that
the influence.
The top level dudes haven't been here.
Right.
No, but the top level, I mean, they get. You know what? You're right.
No, if we think about the top level dudes that's been reigning for the past 10 years, we think about 3 people, right? Drake, Cole, and Kendrick. That's it.
Yeah, and they all rap.
All rappers.
That's what I'm saying, and they all rap. Drake being the biggest because he's had the most hit singles and his run has been crazy. But Cole and Kendrick, all these niggas rap. All these niggas.
Yo, I've been listening to that Untitled album.
Oh, Kendrick
for
joint?
the past 2 weeks.
Son, when he did that the joint live, the joint from the Untitled Live. I forgot what song it was. He did it live on maybe Stephen Colbert.
He did like 4 of them
a few years ago, and I was like, "Yo, this song is crazy." It was on Untitled Unmastered, right?
Yeah,
yeah, that joint.
I'm hoping that Kendrick coming out soon.
I knew he was gonna say that.
I would love.
They're taking way too long, man.
But I always wonder when one of them release an album, what the other two think. You know what I'm saying?
I said that to Noah the day we was listening to Cole.
I was like,
you hear that, Kenny? This boy out here rapping.
But I also believe that I think you have no choice but to, you know, give a little peek. You know what I'm saying? Question. But I also think that they don't care either. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, especially Cole and Kendrick. They don't care. They don't care. Especially those two. They don't care.
No.
I don't think Drake does.
Yeah, he don't care. Like,
Drake definitely don't care.
But listen,
I know he don't.
Do y'all have a favorite out of the three? Lyrically?
Yeah.
Lyrically?
Yes. Yeah. Because I wouldn't say Kendrick is better than Drake or Cole. I would never say that.
Not lyrically, no.
Cole would be my preferred,
and
then Kendrick, and like I said, the Drake, not Aubrey. When Drake is in his bag, like during that Lemon Pepper freestyle, like Will told Martin, that's how you drive.
Yeah.
If I got a little bit more of that from Drake, I know he gives it to us, but if I got a similar Drake album to what Cole just gave us.
See, lyrically, I'm going between Drake and Cole, but Kendrick is my favorite artist.
Okay, I would.
But if you take the Control verse, if you take the remix to "Don't Kill My Vibe" with Jay,
you blacked on that.
Ain't nobody messing with Kendrick when he want to rap like that.
Right. So, okay, go ahead. Go.
Like when he wants to rap.
Right.
I don't think nobody's fucking with him.
So here's my thing.
He had two of the verses of the year that year that those came out.
We see flashes of brilliance with all of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can't so it's hard for me to really decide.
More than flashes.
But I'm just saying, like, but he named specific ones of Kendrick.
Yeah.
His other shit is great, but those one he named specifically, and that's for a reason. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking in my mind, it's like when I hear Cole on this album, like you know how we go back and forth with Conway and Benny, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's kind of how I feel about, because I will admit, when the first time I heard Drake, So Far Gone, when he was rhyming over the Kanye joint, Kanye beat, that was one of my introductions to Drake, and I was like, yo, this dude is crazy. And my first introduction to Cole, and I remember it perfectly, was Lights Please. Do y'all remember that song?
Lights Please, nah.
Yo, that was the first time I ever heard Cole. That song, I was like, yo, this nigga is nice. I was like, yo, this dude is nice. And when I heard Kendrick, first time I heard Kendrick was Section 80, and my man put me up on him. And I was like, okay, he got something. So I'm saying Drake and Cole impressed me more than Kendrick when I first heard them. But the evolution of the artist.
Yeah.
I agree with
Kendrick's evolution.
Kendrick's first album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think none of them got better album than that.
But and that's where we disagree, because I think Pimp a Butterfly is Kendrick's best album. That's to me. No. That's when he said no. That's to me when he said it's not about being
better Good Kid, Mad City.
Yes, that's to me when he said it's not about being the best lyricist. It's about being the best artist.
That's when he decided to be an artist.
That's what I'm talking about.
My favorite artist.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, he can make the best songs, like that the soundtrack to Black Panther.
Yeah,
Cole can't do that.
Yeah,
no disrespect to Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Cole can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Drake can't do that.
I give you that too. First time I heard Drake, I'm still seeing the video. My homegirl Loza, I was taking her to the airport, and she plugged in a Bluetooth shit, and he was rhyming over the Barry Bonds. Remember the old school Barry Bonds shit, and Ignorant Life, the shit with Jay and Beans.
Okay, that's why he's the greatest.
He rhymed for like.
Chick put you on to him.
15 minutes. You know why? Because he was also because she liked him because he was a singer too. She actually liked that more, so she played that because I was dissing the singing shit at that time. I was like, oh, I hear this shit. She was like, nah, he can rap too. I was like, word, he can rap too. So she put this on. I was like, this the same dude? And she was like, yeah. So then I went on YouTube and started seeing all this shit. And I remember one joint had his Bluetooth and he had the had the mic with the joint and he was just going. And I'm like, who is this nigga? I'm like, and then they was like, yo, you remember the dude with in the wheelchair from Degrassi High? And I'm like, and I didn't see, mind you, I saw the first alliteration of Degrassi. I didn't see the second one with that Drake was on. Mm-hmm. So they showed me, and I'm like, this nigga, Wheelchair Jimmy is the guy that was rhyming on Master Flex. I was like, yo, this motherfucker might be the nicest dude out right now. Yeah. And this is me just listening to mixtapes at this time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm about to say that to you too, John.
What?
I was like, I can do singing and rapping at the same time, man.
Right. But you know who used to do that? Fonte. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me started on Fonte. That's one of my personal favorites. He's one of the when I think of underrated MCs, I think of Fonte.
I'll give you that, yeah.
Like lyrically, he's insane, and he can really sing. Like he can really sing better than
That's
Drake.
Somebody I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't mind seeing like with the live band.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him in concert. I've seen him like him in the Foreign Exchange. That whole thing. Like I've seen him perform live. It's dope.
There are certain MCs I definitely want to see with the live band. Or certain songs I want to see perform with the live band. Like All Glass by Freddie Gibbs. I want to see that like a rock band. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit. I would mosh pit. I would do all that shit. If that shit came on, that's my joint. That's my workout song when I be getting when I need that extra oomph. That joint right on. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I guess it's not like you said, maybe not a return, but maybe more of a spotlight, maybe.
Yeah, of course.
On lyrics.
Yeah, because he's such a big artist, everybody's gonna pay attention to him.
Yeah,
and he really raps, and people love the type. I think they love him so much because he don't be in the shit. He's just about the music,
and he don't care about nothing else really.
Right, he don't care about nothing else. Like,
and J. Cole just live his life.
He just live his life.
J. Cole like the male Aaliyah. Remember how that's how Aaliyah life was. Aaliyah pop out whenever she wanted to. Every time she came out, her album would go to the top of the charts. She had a dope ass video with Missy or some shit like that. And then she would go. And you would, other than the early shit with Homeboy, you didn't. After she got out of that, it was like every time you seen her, she had a smile on her face. She was looking good. She made Dame Dash likable. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was dissing Dame when Dame was with Aaliyah. Dame was smiling all the time. He was happy. Like everything was good. It was like, that's what Cole just one of them artists is like, I do what I feel like doing when I want. Y'all know I'm nice. I don't gotta do crazy marketing. I got a strong $5 million that's gonna rock with me every time. You know what I'm saying? I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sell out every arena or club I do when I go on tour.
And correct me if I'm wrong, The Fall Off is going to be his last album. I feel like that's what he's saying.
That's
right?
what he's saying. Yeah.
That's what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I figured.
If you tell me that, I was cool. You said mid-30s, 35 maybe?
Yeah, he's like 35, 36, something like that. Mm-hmm.
You tell me at 35 I could be worth $100 million, and I can do shit like play basketball. I'm putting out other acts and stuff underneath my umbrellas. I mean, at this point, especially with the kind of world that we live in right now, quality of life is some real deal shit.
I mean, listen.
He got married. He married and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like
this nigga has a R&B star on his label. Yeah. Ari Lennox is an R&B star. She's a star. You know what I'm saying? And when her next album comes out, I'm sure she's gonna blow. And she's like, he good. He did it right.
He good.
He did it right, man.
Jay said the same thing though.
True. Well, I mean, we'll see.
But Jay and J. Cole, two totally different.
This is true. This is true too.
Totally
I'm just talking about being when you that nice at something, and you can always do it.
Right.
You're not going to stop doing it.
Yeah. I feel like MCing and lyricists, it's not like playing basketball where you have a finite amount of time.
Yeah, but for your sports, you get old. Your body gets old. You can't do it.
But rhyming, it's based on your experiences. It's based on your experiences. Yeah. Because your experiences dictate how you know what I mean? And I feel like he's doing, and you can hear that in his music because he's talking about like everything. I feel like he's talking about some real shit. Like I can relate or whatever. So it's like, wow. I think it's
going to be better because of that. I think the same thing about. Remember, I told y'all a couple podcasts ago that as much as I love Griselda, they say a lot of the same shit over and over again.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think that, and I remember listening to Benny on Drink Champs probably a year ago, and he was saying You know, Buffalo niggas ain't never been nowhere, man. We've been to Miami, we've been to Atlanta, the city.
Right. But
he was being humble saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what my point is saying, I think that because of the foundation that him and Conway have with how nice with the wordplay they are, when they have more experiences and live some more and travel some more and
I hope so.
people, I think
right.
I'm hoping
You're hoping. But the drug shit was so much of their real life. Because these niggas is in their mid-late 30s.
Yeah, you gotta realize. Pusha T and Jay, two great examples when it comes to that.
Right.
Push talk about drugs all the time. However, he does it in a way where it don't sound like the topic may be the same, but the words in that, you know what I'm saying?
I think it's way different with Griselda because them niggas was in the game longer than Jay and Push.
Mm-hmm.
These niggas, this was not that it wasn't, but Jay and Push, them niggas, they started rapping in their 20s.
Yeah.
These niggas,
Griselda might be a good 5 years removed from the last time they had a pack in their backpack.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It was so much of their life.
If that.
If that.
Yo, look. They didn't start going on tour and all that probably since the last maybe 3 years.
Right.
So that tour money is when all the real money. So prior to that, okay, you do a show here, they may pay you $5,000. You know, they was regional rappers.
Right.
You know, up until, recently, keep it funky. So, but I'm hoping that
and Gunn look like he got a lot of money, man.
He does.
I'm not saying he don't. I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
But he also ain't he the older one of them? And
he's the oldest. Yeah, he's the oldest.
Yeah,
and Benny's the youngest. Benny's like the youngest, and he's like 35, 36.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the youngest.
Gunn might be closer to T age. You know what I'm saying? Or closer to John age. You know what I mean? For that one.
I don't think Gunn is 40 yet. I think Conway is like 37, 38.
I mean, Gunn got to be at least 40.
That's what I'm saying. They live so much of that life longer than the rappers who talk about it that we know that all for the next, they got a lot of experience to pull from to put on albums. So, I mean, and they've done it in a way.
One thing we never said, I know they did it longer, supposedly.
Right.
But one thing we never said about the clips was, he said that 2 records ago. You didn't hear that from Malice or Pusha. And we talk about 10 years ago when the clips was out and they was young. Right. They still were able to do it.
Yeah.
Their imagination was a little different. And them niggas is old, like Push 42 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I think the experiences, just traveling and being around different people, I'm hoping that it'll expand Benny and Conway's, vocabulary.
Because they have the talent.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying.
They have the talent.
They got raw talent. And
subject matter don't matter.
Yeah. So, but then again, it's been working for them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So far, I don't know how much further they can go just being this way. I think you got to change it up a little bit. I'm not saying.
Also, the thing with them is
you got to push it up a little bit.
They're putting out so much.
That's what. Didn't I tell y'all it might be an issue with them with too much music?
It's hard to be like, I said that 10 songs ago. It's
right.
10 songs ago on each album.
Yeah.
Or each project, or every time I'm on a feature or something. Like I've heard it. Especially Conway do a little bit more than Benny.
Conway do it more than Benny.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh yeah.
Conway do more than Benny.
But the thing is too, Conway's more diverse to me than Benny. Like
Benny reminds me of Jay.
Yeah.
Benny reminds me of Jay because even though he talked that shit,
at me.
I didn't laugh at you.
I didn't laugh. I just didn't agree.
I agree because even Jay's first album, he always talk about the regrets or the real, not just the it's the real shit. Like that's what I get from that.
It was just insane in that first album.
Yeah. Oh, it was insane.
That's one reason why I always like the clips, because everybody was like, "Oh, they talk about drugs," but the clips always gave you both sides of the coin. Mm-hmm. Always, especially, and this is before Malice got saved and got away and all that stuff.
Right.
Then you look at their first album, like they always talked about the other side of the game, losing friends. Dude's going to jail. You can't see the dude. You can't kiss his mama because she there at the funeral. Like this.
Didn't they manage to go to jail?
And told on mad people. Yeah. But he told on people so his sister and his mom wouldn't be in prison for the rest of their lives.
I get that.
And he took all that time.
Right.
If you put me in that situation,
right,
my mom ain't going to jail.
Right. No. No. Absolutely not.
Do with me what you will, but my mama ain't going to jail.
Right.
Call me whatever, snitch, whatever. Damn, she not going.
See, as we're doing this podcast, our first topic was talk about J. Cole. You see how we do? We spin it into so many different things, man. We're not going to get to all our topics. I'm just letting y'all know right now. We're not getting
lyricists, though.
Yeah,
all
real shit. This is how we do. We music guys first, so that's what we're going to talk about.
This wasn't on the list.
This was on the list. So, moving on. Something that besides Cole album coming out, one thing that's been ringing off in our hood community, if you will, one of our famous MCs who've become a personality in the streaming podcast world.
One of our peers.
One of our peers. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Nori and Joe Budden, before we get into Joe, for really transforming their careers into something insane where they're still very relevant.
Transforming podcasting.
Right. Although Nori's podcast is predicated on guests.
Yeah.
Right? The Joe Budden podcast is not.
It's predicated on him.
Right. And with that said, his there's been a falling out. Nothing lasts forever. Fat Boys broke up. EPMD had the issues.
Same time, you owe me Pepsi.
And I didn't see it coming. I know y'all watch it more than I do, but I've seen quite a few episodes, especially when they have guests on or whatever. And now the falling out of the Joe Budden podcast with Maul and Rory. And I know Maul and Rory spoke on it this past week about what went down.
I literally called it the week before on our group there. Did I not? I said, Joe. But I was only half right.
Why did you call it though? Why did you call it? What made you call it?
They had been gone for 4 weeks.
Okay.
Right?
6.
4 weeks, and the podcast comes out every week, right?
Yeah, my bad. They've been going for 6 weeks. Comes out twice a week. Okay. Yeah. They've been going for 12 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Basically, or maybe 10. Right. Mm-hmm. When they came back, you could tell the energy in the room was just not. It's like when, and I'm not trying to disrespect them when I say this. When you do some foul shit to your lady, or you piss her off, and she tell you it's all good, but for a fact it's not good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She may be acting, she may be talking to you and all that shit, but
right. You can feel the vibe. You be like, what's wrong? She'd be like, nothing.
The last one they had before then, it was just, and like I said, I don't ever watch it. So I couldn't even, this is not me going off body language. This is just me listening, right? Maul sounded like he did not want to be there. He might have said 10 things, you know what I'm saying, or 5 things to the whole joint.
And Maul is already laid back.
Very laid back, yeah.
Always.
Exactly.
Right.
So imagine him going to somewhere and I already got an attitude. I really don't want to be here. It's whatever. And you could just hear it in his voice. And then when Roy would say something that seemed like they was forcing, like trying to get along and get the thing back. And you could tell that chemistry just wasn't there no more.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But I mean, I can't.
So what? Because I didn't hear Maul and Rory's side of it. So what was it? Did they explain what it was specifically besides money? Was it anything besides money?
Besides money and the fact that Joe didn't look at them as equal partners.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but Dwight, you had a certain perspective about that because you felt like Rory and Maul wasn't bringing to the table what Joe was. Is that correct?
What Joe said was anything monetary that came through there, whether it been the deals or any sponsorship, anything, he brought it to.
He facilitated.
He said to Rory and Maul, if y'all bringing something, I'll take a lesser cut. You know what I'm saying? If y'all bring it in, since you were responsible for it.
Right.
That seemed now just on that surface. I'm just got to take him as his word. That seemed fair. You know what I'm saying? Now, it seemed like from the beginning, and this is just me on the outside because I couldn't watch all that shit. Just got on my nerves. I got no shit going on.
Right.
But it seemed like from the beginning, Joe thought. This is what I think, and I hate saying this because I am a Joe fan, right? I think that, and I've been listening to the podcast from the beginning when the shorty Marissa was on there. I remember when he fired. I think when the money got involved, it changed. I think before, and I really do think that, and this is just rumor that I heard. I heard that Joe turned down $30 million from Spotify. That was the deal that they shot at him. Mm-hmm. This was after they gave Joe Rogan $100 million.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I could see, especially the way Joe is, thinking, I deserve more than 30. I deserve at least, even though he didn't have the same viewership. Although,
not at all.
Although in Joe's space,
right,
he's top dog.
They was top dogs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can understand that argument. But it seemed like Joe was the one navigating all that. Joe was the one taking the hits. It became Joe was the one shopping the podcast, finding the deal, put them on Spotify in the first place, bought Cash App in. Like, that's all him, right?
That's the problem, though.
Yeah, but this is the thing. That is an issue. But do we blame Joe for that? Because it's not like Rory don't have contacts. It's not like Law don't have contacts, industry contacts that they could reach out to see if it happened. Now, if you don't bring it in, you can't blame me for that. Now, what they should have did in the beginning, which they probably didn't do, was flesh out who had ownership of the joint in the first place. But when you start and nobody's making money from it, you're not even thinking you're ever going to be turning down a $50 million deal or $30 million deal. That's not even thinking about it. The fact that it was Joe turning down the money should have told Rory and Martin then. Because I'm quite sure that they probably said, look, 30 million may not sound like nothing to you. But whatever my cut of 30 million was going to be sweet.
Right.
Yeah, but did you hear what the joint they just put out?
Not all of it. I've seen clips of it.
So when that Rory talks about he bought the title deal to them first.
Oh, word?
Yeah. Okay. So he called Joe up. They had him. He had me with title.
Mm-hmm.
Called Joe up. Was like, yo, we got this. Titles might be interested. These might be the numbers, whatever. He's like, Joe balked on him. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you discussing, whatever. He's like, 2 weeks later, Joe come back with the same title deal.
Oh, shit.
That should have let Rory know right there.
Right.
Maybe he telling you that you shouldn't be speaking on behalf of us. But then, like you said, T, that's a double-edged sword because you said you told them bring in some money.
Yeah.
And you get that.
Right.
And then another thing is they talked about that they were profit share partners. Mm-hmm. So nobody's questioning that Joe started it because Moore came in episode 70, whatever. Rory came in a few episodes after the beginning. So they already say Joe started it. So it's his IP, right? But they're supposed to be a profit sharing group. Mm-hmm. So whenever some money comes in, they're going to split that up 3 ways on that.
Right.
That was their understanding.
Right.
Joe's understanding is, I listened today, he's like, the only deal they had was Spotify, really. That's the only money that came in. And from what Joe's saying, it wasn't for all of them. Because he's saying he can't show them the Spotify contract because of legal obligations, which means their name is nowhere on their paperwork. He said, I can't show them the books on Spotify. I can't show them the deal legally.
Wow. That's the problem right there.
That's the problem.
Now,
so
you shouldn't take the deal if all their names wasn't on it. All their names wasn't on it.
It's only against the law if there was some type of NDA that was signed to say that he can't give them the term, make public the terms of the contract. And that's the only thing that makes that illegal. You sign it, you can show anybody your contract if you want to. And I know this because that's the field I work in. That's not against.
But what I'm getting from that's
telling somebody your business.
Yeah, that's but what I'm getting from that is that contract with Spotify wasn't for Joe, Rory, and Moore.
Right.
It was for Joe Budden.
It was for the Joe Budden podcast.
Mm-hmm. No matter who else is besides Joe Budden.
Exactly. Regardless of who else was on there, whether it be Parks, Rory, and Moore, whether it be Mo, Larry, and Curly.
Right. This is the money that we're giving to Joe Budden Podcast. You do it what you want.
Right. Yep.
And
therefore, then he had to create a contract with them then, or something like that.
But that's the thing. If we go into this together,
they had to agree on the payment because they was getting paid, so they had to agree on something. Joe said them niggas had managers that they supposed to.
He also said there was $400,000 mistake that was missed.
What?
Well, who's part? His part?
Yeah.
How you mistake $400,000?
The accounting firm.
$400,000 mistake meaning what?
that there was 400,000 that was allocated somewhere else that was supposed to go to everyone.
Oh,
I don't see how that could be.
Wow.
That should. My thing is like this. That should be an easy fix.
It should be.
Should be.
Yeah. If you know about it and there's contracts involved, then it should be an easy fix.
But it should be like, but if we in the deal together, and I'm like, yo, let me see the numbers on this such and such for a year, and I don't see no numbers.
Look, if you got to ask for numbers for a year and he ain't gave them to you, guess what? Y'all not in this together. You work for him.
Exactly.
Common sense would have been able to say that, say that. You know what I mean?
Common sense, true, but they're probably, from their perspective, they're probably thinking this is the best thing we got going. So I'm gonna ride it as long as I can.
And they thinking that they boys, that
True.
We in this together. We built this.
Mm-hmm.
True. All right.
Yo, everything get funny when money come into play, man, especially with friends. Listen, let me tell y'all something right now.
I'm telling y'all right now. You know what I mean?
I look at this though, and this is and this is with all due respect to Rory and Maul.
Uh-huh.
I got sick of hearing them being so damn politically correct on the part, and not politically correct like they can't say anything like against gays or women and stuff like that. That's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
It was because of their
contacts or relationships
and their friends and stuff like that. We can't talk about that. But son, what are y'all? What are y'all doing? Who y'all think y'all are? First of all, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all here to talk about that kind of stuff,
right?
If all y'all say, well, I can't talk about it because y'all scared, or you can't what's y'all where y'all can't go place I didn't understand that part of it. So to be even though it would took me a while to get used to hearing Ish and Ice on there, because I was listening for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was refreshing to hear a different point of view.
I actually enjoy some of their conversations better. Yeah. I just don't I don't know if it's Ish. I don't like the voice.
Well, Ish is about John P. age, so he's an older dude. He's a few years younger than me. Mm-hmm. So he's been around a little bit more, got a business, married, all that shit. He got a different thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's married. I know he got a girl. Ice is a Newark nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't care. Like, he's not in the industry like that. He don't got to protect no relationships. His brother is the battle rapper Arsenal, who's one of the most disrespectful battle rappers in there. Known for throwing out SMDs like it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right in your face. So it's like they don't care. What you gonna do? You gonna go to Avon Ave and say something to him? No, you're not. So they don't care. It's different. It's from Irvington. Like, they don't care about none of that other shit that they like Marley and Raw care about. And the fact that they are away from that means that some of the provocative topics that Joe and them talk about, they can give a more honest opinion of, because they're not trying to protect nobody from it.
So, what prompted Joe to fire them on air? Is because of that? They weren't really
after they came back. I guess they had some type of talk where, okay, they're going to see the books, they're going to do this and that, and they'll get back to the pod, whatever.
Right.
And then after that, it still ain't happened. So Rory was like, "Yo, we ain't get what we agreed to.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fix all this, and then we get back to it."
Mm-hmm.
And then Joe, did Joe stuff. So
my thing is like this: if the deal was he's supposed to show them the books and he didn't, then that's foul. You're not supposed to do that to your friends. What's even worse is you don't fire your friends on air. Like, that shit was corny.
That's foul. That was foul.
That shit was.
You say you're gonna sue them, you don't do that.
Yeah,
and then come back the next week say, I'm not gonna sue them. Like.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but that just shows where Joe mind state is. And Tommy said something that made a lot of sense on the thread. He was like, "Yo, man, Joe's a stick up. Joe's a former dust head. He used to stick up niggas. Like, you give a nigga like that $10 million, how you expect him to act? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's gonna be some mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Joe's such a very smart guy. Yeah. Sometimes his emotions is getting in the way. He remind me of Dame a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I think I think Dame is brilliant, but his attitude,
his delivery.
You know what I'm saying? But Joe got to learn. I remember when they first came back. This one I knew was going to be an issue. They first came back, and it seemed like one of the reasons why they left is because they had an argument, and Joe had said some foul shit to both.
Foul shit.
Rory and Mo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we come back. All of them, including Parks, tell him like, yo, this is what you said. Since and what they're doing is trying to be transparent for the fans and let everybody know how the shit happened. You know what I mean? And for the first half hour, maybe 20 minutes, seemed like Joe was being a mature adult about it. Then all of a sudden, it seemed like he just couldn't take the fact that people was pointing out the shit that he did wrong, and he just flipped. Yeah. How you don't owe niggas this, and I don't owe niggas respect. I don't owe my friends respect. It's like, and I'm thinking, and I remember saying I might have been talking to Mac or somebody. I was like, there's nobody around there must be able to beat Joe because he should have been got punched. Somebody should have been pulled somebody off of Joe a long time ago. So, especially saying all that shit. I'm sitting there listening to them like, nigga, you supposed to be apologizing.
Yeah.
These niggas been going for a month and a half. You know what I mean? And you still want it the same way. Like, you don't think you did nothing wrong. Like, the only reason you're doing this because you know you needed them back. Mm. Or some of the fans wanted them back. Mm-hmm. So, you can't, it's hard to deal with people who don't have any accountability. I know firsthand. It's hard to deal with people who don't have any accountability. Joe's issue is always I did it because. Mm. Yeah, but. You know what I'm saying? Even when you apologize. You know what I'm saying? I remember going through marriage counseling and it's like, yo, you can't do that shit. It can't be no, I'm sorry, but, well, if you feel that way, like, nah, that's not the way you apologize, especially to your friends. And regardless of who name is on it and shit like that, like, everybody enjoyed their rapport. Even with the shit I said earlier, I still enjoyed them being together. It's good to see, dudes like that, because they, one of the blueprints for how we started our shit.
Right.
So, to see it go, and the bad part is it was other people in that space that was saying Joe was going to fuck it up.
Yeah.
So, eventually it's a great thing, but Joe going to end up fucking it up. And me being the nigga I am, always not wanting Jersey to go, I'm like, come on, Joe. Like, it seems like you're making a turn right now, bro. Don't prove him wrong. I mean, don't prove him right. Don't prove him.
Man, it's a Slaughterhouse album produced by Just Blaze. Ain't nobody ever gonna hear.
Anyway, yeah, Joe is. Anyway, so my question is: so what does the future hold for Joe, and what does the future hold for Rory and Maul?
Well, Joe gonna move on. He gonna keep doing his.
I'm sure, like Joe he has no choice. Like he has to keep, because I'm sure. Like, there are people who will watch the show regardless if Rory or Maul on there.
People watch the show for Joe.
For Joe, because Joe is the most outspoken person on that show.
Yeah.
And people love that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, but Rory and Maul have their fans. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they do their own thing, it will not be as big, but they can create something. I'm just curious to see what happens next, especially with Rory and Maul.
Yeah, I don't know what they do.
Because they don't have the presence to be the.
They got to take themselves shackles off. You know
exactly.
What I'm saying? They gotta. But I heard that thing they doing is going to be like very heavy guest based. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that makes sense because
that makes sense for them.
They don't have the personalities to carry it by themselves, right?
Yeah.
You forget? Remember, Joe was a personality on Hot 97 like a long time ago?
I remember that. I mean, he was him and Miss Info and all that. I remember that. Yeah, he's been doing this for a long time. Yeah, this whole internet with the video, like he's been doing this for a long time.
I hope that this is the thing. Because this is personal, because these is like, him and Maul live together for long. That's his man, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that this is something that makes him say, you know what, maybe I need to, pump my brakes a little bit and cool the fuck out before I lose, people that really, really, I already lost 2 people that matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking they can mend that, but, Joe got to be the man here and admit, where he went wrong. That accountability is serious. And like they said, the best apology is change behavior. Mm-hmm. You gotta be a better man. He just went through something where one of the co-hosts on one of the podcasts he had quit because he was on there saying inappropriate jokes. So I heard he apologized on his podcast.
Yeah, he talked about that today. Yeah.
But I remember when I heard about it, I remember saying, "Yo, nigga, you the boss. You can't say, yo, why we ain't fuck yet and all this stuff. Like, son, who's saying that shit at 40 and shit? Like, that's some shit." That's the shit we say when we was in college and shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? But you're not saying that shit when you're a grown man. And you actually, I heard he got a girl or some shit. Like, son, where's your respect for your Wiz? You don't know if she got a dude or not, even if she don't. Like, what makes you think she's going to be talked like that in front of other people?
Wow.
That's just some corny shit to do.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? You know, forget about all the other shit. It's just some corny shit to do. So I'm like, come on, son. That's why I asked. I'm like, yo, I asked Tommy, I'm like, yo, you think this nigga getting high again? Because that's I say that only a little bit in jest, because when you start doing this type of wild ass behavior, it's like, son, you was good. You know what I'm saying? You was good. Now you lost your co-host for the last 4 years or some shit like that. Yeah, one of your co-hosts quit and do a goddamn 20-minute IG video about all the foul shit you said to her to make her quit. You gotta chill for a second.
Damn, Joe. Damn, Joe.
And now the bag he was chasing, a few million just got sliced off that.
Definitely.
Damn.
And they gonna say, what you gonna do about it, nigga?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
He gonna do something, but
no, he can keep on going the way he's been going.
Yeah, but how long is that gonna last?
But you know, like he was saying, to go back to the beef between Roy and Joe though. The funniest thing I heard through the whole shit was that Rory sent niggas to intimidate DJ Academics, because Ac had said some shit. Now, mind you, Rory didn't deny it, because this is something that did happen. I heard the rumor that Academics is part of the reason why Rory and his fiance broke up, because he alerted Rory's shorty over the fact that he was out here spreading his love around. So if you notice the last 6 months, I know Teeth listen a lot, he ain't talked about shorty. He ain't said her name. They say it every episode. You know,
nope.
I remember when he proposed to her. I remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a big deal.
That was like 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's just radio silence. I don't even know if they live together. I remember Roy saying something about it one time. He said he was arguing with his mom, saying that the shit that I seen my family go through is the same shit I'm going through now. So y'all mad at me because I saw the same shit y'all drove you down with, did the same thing. So it seemed like maybe his pops was a wild dude. You know what I'm saying? And then he went and did
Learn behavior.
Yeah. But you know, when you're, he's 30, man. We all been 30. We know what it is.
Somebody need to punch Ack in his mouth though, for real.
Yeah, Academics is he's a punk, man. He's just
a corny fat boy.
Corny.
Man.
He's just corny, man.
He's just insulated by the computer. He don't gotta go nowhere. You ain't never gotta see Ack. He don't never gotta be out. He don't gotta do none of that shit.
That shit is crazy.
And people gonna keep on sending him,
because he has his core fans as well. You know what I mean? So I mean, I get it, but
I hope Rory did send some people to his crib though.
They said they put a note on the door, and they said Joe. He said, "No, all that happened." You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I just thought it was crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was like, and Joe was saying, him and Roy got into it. He's like, nigga, I'm trying to get these deals and shit. You out here, And one of the episodes there that he played the clip when Franklin yelled at Leon, you ain't gonna break up everything I did just because you don't like the way a nigga talk.
Yeah.
And then, you can see, and you can hear the tension between, Joe and Roy. It sounded like Roy, at any time wanted to see Joe, with a head up. But like I said, Joe has said some wild shit to them niggas, and they haven't even acted like they was going to do something. Like, y'all must not be able to beat Joe. If you tell me, if I worked with you for 4 years, and I'm under the impression that we are partners, and we in somebody's backyard, and you say to me, yo, man, the business of this shit ain't none of your business.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Let me tighten
up my sneakers real quick, because me and you gonna have to you gonna tell me that to my face?
Right.
And me and you as mans like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you can't do that. So, like I said, I think the money changed Joe a little bit. I think but
it is what it is, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah,
listen, when Spotify or Tidal or whoever come knocking in our door, let's make sure we get them contracts right, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to have to fire niggas.
Yeah. Me in the Dominican Republic.
That shit would never happen with us. So that shit. First of all, we have more of a history than them niggas.
Yeah,
we do. Yeah. Let's be real. We have more of a history than them niggas. Anyway, good luck to them. I hope all happens best with them. Well, the last thing I want to talk about, man, is something that's been happening, I guess, with everybody, but particularly with people in our community, the rise of investing in stocks and ETFs and Bitcoin and all this stuff. I feel like because of the pandemic and people, lost their jobs and things like that, that they tried to find other ways of making money. So, we've seen a rise in, particularly like, people like the Wall Street Trapper or the brothers from Earn Your Leisure, Rashad and Troy's his name, the other guy? Troy. Yeah, brothers like that, the Master Investor, Ian Dunlap or whatever. Like, I'm seeing these guys so much more. I mean, I started to follow them, but even before I started following them, I would see them, people reposting their stuff and things like that. And these are, hood dudes or whatever, very educated on the stock market and talking to our people who may not know anything about it and educating. Like, I love to see that, but it's just so interesting, the rise that it happened so quickly. But they've been doing it for how long? Like maybe a couple of years before this, they've been, on Instagram or YouTube or whatever.
2018, I think, was the first time they started doing they shit. At least when I got up on them.
Earn Your Leisure.
Yeah.
Okay.
2018, maybe 2019.
Right.
I know, but I think what you said about the pandemic is
people been in the house. Nothing to do.
Just in the house,
watching YouTube and
people lost their job trying to figure out how they can make more money.
Because everybody's not hustlers.
Yeah.
That's
but
not.
I also think that, like, the way everything happened with GameStop and AMC.
That too. Right.
I think that people who had never invested before thought that that's the way it works all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
like
that's
gambling.
why exactly. That's why you see the the rise, I think, in people getting into that, because they, like, I don't tell nobody what to invest in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm not that, skilled in it like that. But I know what I like to invest in. I've done enough research to feel comfortable with doing it on my own. You know what I'm saying? I actually it was good for a while. We had the story about when when the devils took my money from me. That's all.
Right.
But I think me and one of our brothers actually was having a conversation on our stock thread that we got, and he was talking about the Dogecoin or Dogecoin. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Right.
And he was saying how he had sold it before the thing popped off.
Right.
Off the advice of one of our other brothers who really didn't care for it too much, was knowledgeable in the field, but really didn't care for it too much,
Right.
But if you ask the brother who lost the dough on it, what can he tell you about it? He was like, not really nothing. Somebody told me this might happen, this and the third. It's like, and I said, son, look, what you doing is gambling.
Right.
And he's like, what you mean gambling? I said, if you're just throwing money on something without studying it, that's gambling. You'd be better off going to Vegas. You might have a better chance.
Right.
Actually, at the roulette table, some shit like that. Because you can go, at least on there, you can go
red or black.
Yeah, red or black. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Better deal than any stock market bet out. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, it's good that you want to get invested into it, but there's things you can do if you're not a reader. You can watch videos and stuff like that, but take the time to educate yourself on it, so you're not just throwing money when you hear somebody talking about it on social media. Those are the suckers that these niggas that are doing the AMC and the GameStop stock. Those are the ones that they taking advantage of.
Right.
People like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're thinking that they're gonna get rich in a year. It just don't happen.
Right. But the dudes who's doing the AMC know what they were doing. They think it's easy. It ain't
exactly.
right.
It was a whole group of them.
Yeah. Right. Like you said, you said it, Latif, on the podcast.
But unless you was in that room and you had the amount of money to do it, just a waste of time. Unless you got it early. There are some people that made some money from it. You know what I mean? But if you think that that's the way the stock market works all the time, and that's how some of the some of the newer investors think,
right?
Then that's going to be an issue, because it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? That is not what it is. So please don't think that that's how it is. Just go do some research. Google searches can get you those certain videos or articles and stuff that you can learn to educate yourself on it. Ask somebody else who has been doing it for a while what they, how they would invest. Look at different options and know the type of words and terminology. Like, if you don't know what dollar cost averaging is, then you probably shouldn't be investing. That's the bare bones of the shit. You know what I'm saying? But you ask a lot of people what that is, they don't know. But they know they bought Doge at 39 cents. And it's like, okay, so what's your out strategy? When are you going to pull out? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't just throw it in there. Like something like that is a pump and dump. So you got to have that plan before you get into it. Well, what's a pump and dump? And it's like,
right.
don't put no money in something you don't know about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, even, I'm just, I'm getting started myself in it, and I'm learning as I go and things like that. But one thing I will say, one of the most important things is, especially if you first starting, is start with researching companies that you use that in your house, products that in their house.
Yep.
Research those companies that you use. Like if, just a quick example, like Amazon, like we all use Amazon, like research that company, see what the financials are, research look under your kitchen counter, your bathroom counter, see what Lysol and these products, see what companies own these products and see how these companies make their money, and do your research that way with simple stuff that is in your house.
And then you realize, them niggas been in business since
right.
before I was alive.
Right.
Yep.
They must be doing something right.
Right. Or they own such and such and such.
Right. Or they own these other things. Oh, I didn't know they own this as well, and this is that. Yeah.
And that's my job, finding out who owns what.
Right. Right.
So that's exciting to me. Right. And I understand a little bit of that. So I'm like, it's not hard to find out some of that information. You just have to set the time aside. Most people can understand anything if you put yourself in the right setting to receive it. You know what I'm saying?
And don't look at it. Right. Okay. Don't look at it as a get rich quick scheme or get money quick scheme. I mean, you can, but don't look at that way. It's like
that's what people are looking at it as now. Not everybody, but
now because of the rise. Because of that rise.
Because everybody's saying that like, oh, I'm missing out.
Right. Right.
And because of COVID, and because of people losing their jobs, it's like, so it's like, yo, what can I try to do? I give you a perfect example. Probably a year and a half ago, this is right before COVID, I was looking, I was like, yo, you should get a food truck or something. So I was looking to see which ones they had available. A whole bunch of them available, right? I was looking just over the weekend. A fraction of what was available back then is available now because people set off their own businesses because they had to find some other way to get income.
Right.
That's the same thing I think with stocks. But people got to look at it as, to me, I look at stocks of, it's going to help me live my life better as I get older.
Right.
Right. I'm looking for my retirement and stuff like that, and be able to fund some of the things that I do as I get older, or at least be able to, give me some money as I get into my later years. God willing, I get to those later years. Now you could do other stuff like trading when you're doing stocks, which is, but that's something you got to be on. That's another thing you can't just jump into. You got to study that, a lot, because you will lose everything. Not doing that the right way.
I don't even have the time to do that, so I'm not even. I don't have time.
My dad retired from AT&T. He did day trading for about 6 or 7 years before he retired, and he said the same thing. He's like, "Look, I had to do that as an engineer, look on the computer all the time. So when I got away from that, I didn't want to keep on, doing that." So he said he was going to work one day, turned around, said, "I'm not doing that no more." Did day trading for a company. I said, that was the greatest retirement story I ever heard. And he said, I was on my way to work. That he stopped to get gas in a pack of Newports. And that he was about 15 minutes away. He's like, you know what? Fuck this. U-turn, head back to the crib. Told his wife, I ain't going back.
I feel that, man.
And been going ever since.
Wow.
I mean, I've personally been looking more at investing and stuff like that because of how I want to live my life later on. So I'm really serious about thinking about, getting up out of here and going someplace else and, being able to have some type of residual income that could come back, and passive income that can come back that will be able to take care of me later on.
Right, absolutely.
And everything. So I think when people look into that, I think that's right. I think that you could do the day trading or the pump and dumps, but you also need to have something like a 401k or a couple of EFTs or something that buy some Apple stock. I mean, I know some of these places you can buy fractions of these stocks.
Yeah, fractions of shares. Yeah.
So I mean, get in how you can. You know what I'm saying? Like Apple ain't going nowhere.
Right. For those people, just so don't be intimidated when you start researching the companies and seeing how much these shares of these big companies are. Like Amazon shares, like $3,200, $3,300 a share. You can get with a broker that gets, you can buy, like Dwight said, fractional shares, like a fraction of that share. You don't got to buy the whole thing. Whatever you can afford, you can buy that. That's possible.
It's all about the pay yourself first stuff. It's like I saw somebody say, if you treat investing like a bill, you'll be okay. Treat it like your cell phone bill, something that you have to pay.
Yes, that's
something
very
that
true.
You have to pay, and you
very
know
true.
that you can do, even if it's $20. Like, make sure you put something on it, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, that will build up after a while.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do more. Me, I just work more, every other hustle I do is going towards that. Paying down whatever debt I have and going to the point where I can start stacking and make sure that money is working for me as I get older. You know what I mean? But that's how I think people got to look at investing. And I also think that a lot of people that we see are closer in our age range too.
Yes.
Even though you see a lot of younger people doing it now, which is key. If we'd have been doing some of the stuff in 95 that we started doing now, we'd be chilling, And that's a regret you gotta,
Of course, you gotta live with it. But we're still able to do it now.
But we're still able to do it now. And we, like I said, we've all been able to get at least some retirement money up. We just gotta start now. It gotta be multiplication more than add.
Right.
Great. I don't want to work too much longer. Not saying I don't want to be able, have to keep on turning a dollar, but I don't want to have to keep on doing what I do right now. A lot of my intellectual property and my energy goes into making my law firm the most profitable law firm in the world. That's good for them.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But and it helps me out because we get bonuses and they pay us well and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I know the managing partner of my firm probably got an elevator in his crib.
At the end of the day,
like at least the one he's staying in the summertime. In the wintertime, he probably got something.
Like there's the a quote. I'm sure people see it online or whatever, or that if you die, your job will post your place of employment will post your job the next day, looking to fill your position. They don't give a fuck about you.
Maybe that day, if you check out early in the morning.
Depends on when they found out.
Exactly. Because
4 p.m. you might be up on the job chart.
Right. So I say that to say, invest in yourself. Whatever that means, do that shit. Whatever that means for you, invest in yourself. Like think about it. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you invest in yourself? Because you don't believe in yourself. That's why. You need to believe in yourself to invest in yourself. Do that shit. Like, come on. Whatever your talent is, whatever it is, do that.
It takes a while, especially if you've been in kind of a grind to kind of see that vision.
Right.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta. That's why I've never done one before. I can understand why a vision board would help people out like that. I understand why people say do shit like that, because you got to be able to visualize your life how you want it to be. I tell my daughter that, my oldest daughter, I'm like, well, what you want your life to be? This, at this stage of life. You got to think about that and do the things you want to do. Right now, I done set up, and I did this shit over the last month. So I set up like short-term and long-term goals going up to 10 years, right? And 10 years is when my son graduated from high school. And I got certain goals and stuff I want to reach up until those 10 years to be able to make certain decisions on how I want to live my life once they go away to college. So that's
right. Smart.
Yeah.
Smart, man.
And that's, but so, like the COVID stuff got me thinking about that. And
of course.
Just the stuff that's been going on here in the United States. And, one thing I say this, and I'm going to say this on camera, and I probably shouldn't, but I love the United States. This is where I met. This is where I was born. This is where my mom and dad was born. This is where my friends are. This is where my family is. Like, this is home, right? If I had a chance to leave tonight, I would leave and not come back. My goal in the next 10 years is to be able to set myself up so I can go somewhere where white people aren't the majority. And I'm not saying that white people are bad at all. They're not all of them. No, I mean that.
I know.
But I can't be anywhere where they are in charge. Like, I can't do it. I watch the news, son, and every day it gets me sick to my stomach.
That's not watching the news.
I don't watch the news.
Can't watch it every day.
I'm surprised to hear you say that you watch the news.
I mean, sometimes I got to do it for my job.
Okay.
Gotta see.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know, so I'll be watching local stuff, or sometimes I see like the congressman, and they signed a bill in South Carolina to make they make it like mandatory for a death row inmate to decide whether you want to die by lethal injection or the electric chair.
I heard they might be adding back the firing squad.
Yeah, my bad. That's what it was. It was firing squad or electric chair. So it's 2021. There's laws against giving people waiting on lines to vote, giving them water.
Yeah, dumb shit.
Yeah.
Like
that's the
like this, and they changing the voting laws and shit. The shit they changed. Like there was one time, it was in this one part of Georgia, it was 108 polling places in black-owned neighborhoods, and they took that down to like 30 something. Stop people from voting on Sundays, although Stacey Abrams and them, worked that out.
Yeah,
it's like, son, we sitting here. Some of us are going to war. We don't got no choice but to pay taxes. We doing all this shit for a country that clearly don't fuck with us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And my great-grandfather has had to deal with this. My grandfather has had to deal with this. My father has had to deal with this. And I have had to deal with this. That's four generations of my family. And my son is just 9 years old.
Right.
He have to deal with this shit, while he here. Yep. At some point, this shit is like insanity.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Shit over and over again.
And I always say this to my wife, and it's funny that it's a quote, but I kind of tweak it a little bit. But I always say this to my wife, and I said it to her early today because coincidentally, this man passed away today. Rest in peace, Paul Mooney. He was like, everybody wants to be a nigga, but nobody wants to be a nigga. If that's not the realest shit in the world,
and if
that's not one of the realest quotes in the world,
you got to be black to understand.
Understand that.
Yeah.
They want all that we give. Like Latif said many podcasts ago, our culture influences everything. So they want that part of us niggas, but they don't want this part of us niggas.
Son,
you know what I mean?
We superheroes to them.
They want that part too.
Yeah, they test.
Okay.
They run tests on us. They've run tests on our women. They've run tests on our men. They've run tests on us for years to see how we react to shit. They've run tests on us for years. They thought that black women could handle, childbirth, pain differently because they were stronger and all this other type of shit. And they used to test shit on them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so we have been, and I get mad when it's like, well, this person made it, this person made it, this person made it. Because that motherfucker either had and I remember Marlon said to me, let's have this conversation, that's another thing. He had said to reach the heights of somebody like a Robert Smith or somebody like that, or to be a billionaire,
right?
Like you've had to have made some type of deal with somebody nefarious, especially if you're black to get that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when I first heard that, I kind of like
felt away about it.
On that.
Yeah,
felt away, but I understand where he was coming from because it's it's kind of easy. But I also felt that it kind of disrespected some of the brilliant people in our community as well, who've gotten past some certain shit, especially when it comes to, but then it was different because he was talking about financially. He wasn't talking about education-wise or anything like that. He was moving up the financial ladder, have to be in that particular world.
Right.
And at that particular time, I disagreed with him, but now I agree with him. Because the minute Robert Smith has been a billionaire for a long time. So Vista Equity Partners is one of the biggest venture capital, or private equity firms in the world. Okay, he started it. I know that because they're one of our clients on the low. Right? It wasn't until he started paying off niggas' student loans, then all of a sudden they want to get him for tax evasion. What? Y'all didn't know he was rich before? Y'all didn't know he was a billionaire before.
Yo. That's the nigga. That's the
nigga
part. That's the nigga part.
You gotta stay off the TV, man.
One thing I do respect about him, he told on all them white boys that was with him. I wasn't the only one doing it. It was him, and it was him too. Y'all coming with him.
Oh God.
And you know what? And after he named people,
right,
I ain't heard his name in nothing crazy since. I've heard him start up a whole bunch of programs and stuff like that. I ain't heard his name and nothing crazy since. I know he ain't going to jail. Billionaires don't go to jail. So I know that ain't gonna happen. He gonna pay a fine. He gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to, y'all keep on trying it. And when I say y'all know what I'm talking about. Keep on trying it. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, but that's what I'm saying. We gotta be that,
right, in
order to get past this shit. And I just don't feel that I want to have to give up that much of myself to them anymore. They've taken too much from me and my people and my family enough. They've taken too much from us. They've taken too much from my people. Y'all don't want us here. Y'all bought us here. Let's remember that. Y'all bought us here, dropped us off on different islands and shit. How you got people in Jamaica and Haiti.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or they was just brave enough to be like, nah, fuck that. I'm not going to be here anymore. Next white boy beat me. I'm snapping his neck in two, and we chilling. I'm quite sure that happened more than enough times that we have not heard about.
That's never been documented.
And it needs to be a 3-hour movie about it. That being said.
Right, by Tariq Nasheed.
Yeah. No.
Oh, wait, Umar though.
As long as it's not Chief Boy Kevin Samuels. As long as
God, with the brunch boots.
There's nothing wrong with brunch boots.
Yes, there is. Brunch boots and the him downstairs demeanor.
And with Tim's everywhere, the white.
You know him downstairs, nigga.
Oh my goodness, yo. Anyway, man.
But I think the rise in investing and stuff like that is an attempt for people to try to take a little bit more control. Of
absolutely, which is important. Very important. So, I mean, if you didn't learn anything from this podcast, listen to J. Cole's album. And do your research before you start investing in stocks. Invest in yourself as well. All right?
Health, mentally. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Financially.
Yeah.
Spiritually, all that. Like, because the mind ain't right, nothing else is going to work.
That's the facts. So with that said, man, we're going to end episode 20, man. Until next time, we enjoy
Shout out to the Knicks.
Orange and Blue Sky. Shout out to them. Good team.
Actually, before y'all go, a prediction for the night's game between Lakers and Warriors.
I think Steph is going to go for 50.
I got the Lakers.
But I don't think they're going to win.
Like I said to John before we got live, I'm not a Lakers hater, nor am I a Warriors fan. But I would be lying if I didn't say I wanted Steph to get a double nickel tonight and I wanted them to win. I think the Lakers still going to make the playoffs because I think they'll win the next game regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because they still got a chance to win it. I mean,
this whole thing is stupid.
I don't think so.
Thing?
Yeah.
I don't think so at all. I think it's exciting. I think it's a fact. I think that
it's money.
Hey, everything.
The business. It's a business.
They not getting paid tonight?
No, I get that. I get it. But it's stupid.
It's stupid.
1 through 8, playoffs, it's done.
I'm cool with that too. However, in other sports, they have playing tournaments, and it's not an issue. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you one of the last 4 teams, the first 6 y'all good, right? First 6 y'all good.
But that's stupid, especially in the West. Because think about it. You play all season to get a certain record so you can make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So now this dude finished 10th. He could have a great night and beat me on an off day.
That's what makes it great.
That's like football, man. Football, one game.
That's what makes it great.
But football is.
I know, I get it, but I'm just saying.
It's more like March Madness because you could be a sub 500 team and get into the tournament if you win your conference tournament on a buzzer beater.
But you had to do something to get there.
They had to play. They got 10th.
They got 10th. They're losers.
It's 16 teams. Hey,
they probably got a below winning record.
If they so much losers, it shouldn't be a problem with y'all playing another game.
Is this the norm going forward? Or are they just trying this out?
In that playoff game.
Man, you can't go for that. This ain't an exhibition game. They're getting paid. This the playoff format now.
Until a star get hurt in a playoff game.
Yo, if you don't like it, go play where J. Cole playing at. In the United States, in the NBA, he's got the play-in game. And guess what? If you win more games like the New York Knicks, you won't have to get no playoff game. You know what I mean?
Knicks would have been 10th in the West.
The Knicks didn't have to do none of that. You know what I mean? Because we in there. We in already. We here chilling. While your man with the sore ankle and the sore groin, hoping they can get past Steph today.
What's their record? What was the Lakers' record?
4th. I mean,
what was their record?
It's the same as the Knicks, right?
Same as the Knicks.
Exactly.
Not my fault that y'all didn't pick it up. The Knicks did what they were supposed to do. The Lakers, the top-heavy Lakers, didn't do what they were supposed to do. Mr. Glass showing up again, always getting hurt again.
Mr. Glass.
That's not the Knicks' fault. It's not the Knicks' fault that LeBron is 38 years old and that ankle take a little longer to heal. That's not the Knicks' fault, sir. You cannot compare that. All I know is the Knicks are 4th, and niggas had predicted us to win 15 games. Everything we do right now is not just, it's already the whipped cream on top. Everything right now is sprinkles. The Knicks can't do no wrong, nigga. We can go out here and get swept by the Hawks. You know what? I'm going to be good. We got mad draft picks.
That's the problem with the Knicks.
And we good.
They're happy with that losing. They've been losing so long.
No.
It's progress. It's progress, though.
Thank you, John.
It's progress.
The detractors like Teeth, the Benedict
losers and winners.
He would say, "Oh, y'all losers." No. We won 15 games. We were predicted to win 15 games last season, and we had the worst record in the league. And ended up getting the 8th pick. All right, it was not a good prognosis for my Knicks. Not only we had to get a new coach, knew all that shit. He came in there. He changed the whole culture. Now they 4th. Guess what? We got a bunch of fucking draft picks. We got a bunch of cap room, and we have a good prognosis going.
And Thibodeau should have won Coach of the Year. He should have won Coach of the Year.
And you know what? Guess what?
No.
Why not?
Do Phoenix won, right?
Yeah, Phoenix won. Yeah. But Phoenix been good. They was good from last year.
They was okay last year.
No, you know what it is? They also got fucking Chris Paul.
Wasn't they 8-0 in the bubble before they?
Yeah.
They was in the bubble. Yeah. They was in the playoff. They was in the play-in.
Okay.
But he wasn't in the play-in.
They was in the play-in last year.
Let me ask you real quick before we get out of here, T. Success for the Knicks in your eyes, T, if they got to the second round, is that success for you?
Success for any team in the NBA is winning a championship.
No, Nick. See, that's not realistic. That's not realistic, B.
That's what you play for.
I know that's what you play for.
When you're rebuilding and you're rebuilding the culture of a team, you're not even expecting them to win the championship.
I've been rebuilding for 20 years.
If you are expecting, they just started rebuilding.
Since Pat missed the layup.
The Knicks have never committed to rebuilding. What they've been trying to do is let's fill in the piece here, because you want to.
How my boy Mark Jackson had no problems. Y'all been winning.
I agree with that.
I agree. But he's not there no more. And you know what? Guess what? The Knicks have already had a successful season.
They have.
Knicks have already had a successful season.
They have.
But
so the Knicks have had a successful season. They got the same record as the Lakers, and Lakers had a bad season.
But listen, the Knicks had a successful season. If the Brooklyn Nets don't win the chip, that's a failure season.
That's a failure.
For them.
That's a failure. Yeah.
Knicks don't have that pressure. Knicks don't have that pressure.
Same thing with the Lakers, though. The Lakers defending champions. So if they don't at least make the playoffs, that's a failure.
No, not with the injuries.
They're gonna make the playoffs, but the injuries.
With the injuries they had. Yeah. If they didn't even make the play-in, I can't even say nothing about it because.
Yeah, the two.
They was the second seed before Braun got hurt.
Right.
I don't know about that play-in shit.
And them niggas, they not gonna be 100% for the rest. That's not even gonna happen.
I don't know about that play-in shit. So we don't.
Anyway, before niggas start coming to blows over the Knicks and Lakers, we gonna get out of here.
Yeah, we out of here, man.
We don't do that shit over here. That playing game shit.
Y'all be on the beach soon, though.
Yeah, like always, we want to keep. We want y'all to keep liking, sharing, subscribing, keep building us up, man. We want to keep giving y'all good content, man. Until next time, we'll see y'all later. Peace.
God first, get money.
Word.